Heyo! So I'm just kind of thinking aloud in this video, and Zai Zai is here with me. You say hi, Zai Zai.
Hi.
So
I got comfy socks and a new coat called Breezy Blue.
yeah, it looks great on you, son. That blue is perfect on you. It matches your blue eyes.
I know. And the sweatshirt and pants match my blue eyes.
Yep. So after every class, every CrossFit class, we do a thought for the day. Today's thought for the day was from Robert Redford, and I will definitely not be able to exactly get the quote right, but the gist of the quote was, some people, when they hit adversity, difficulty, strife, struggle, some of them, they persevere and they push through that difficulty. Other people, when they hit that same point, they fold, they break, they back down in the face of difficulty or adversity. So the question is, what's the difference between those that persevere and those who fold? That's the paraphrase of Robert Redford's quote. And I don't have a really good answer for that, but it started a conversation with people that I did the workout today with the CrossFit group, and we had a pretty neat conversation that followed the reading of that quote.
My Dada is doing wrestling with me today, right, Dada?
Yeah, today is wrestling day for Zai Zai, wrestling practice. Anyway, something that a thought that came to my mind in the conversation that followed was that I believe that it is a huge advantage to anybody who is willing to die for something. There's a huge advantage to them versus everybody else who isn't willing to suffer and die for a cause. But putting this into context, Redford's like, what is the difference between those who will persevere and those who won't? Now, this is obviously not the only difference, but I just said, a thought that comes to mind for me is, if I am willing to die, if I'm willing to suffer and die for a cause, to achieve an end goal, an outcome, immediately, I'm going to be more likely to push through those sticking points than a person who's not willing to die for it. The conversation had steered into talking about GoRuck selection and Navy SEALs Hell Week, and how there's this huge failure rate. Like, so many people, 9/10 of applicants or people that try out don't make it. They quit partway through the training. There's a huge attrition rate in Hell Week for the SEALs or in GoRuck selection. And I would say, I had thought to myself, I have often thought that anybody who has a wife and kids has a huge handicap and limitation in what they would be able to do, I believe, psychologically, if they're going into GoRuck as a recreational activity. If they're going into GoRuck selection or whatever, if they're going into that with, this is not their job, this is a hobby that they're doing on the side, and they have to return to work as an accountant, or have to return to work as a lineman on Monday, they have to go back to that. That person is handicapped in terms of what they would be willing to do, and therefore what they'd be able to do in Hell Week or selection or whatever, because if they have something to lose if they become handicapped or disabled, or if they die in the pursuit of what they're looking to do. Versus if I'm a young single guy, not married, no kids, and
You have a kid right here.
I do. If I was unmarried with no kids and my death would not directly impact my family's ability to survive, I would have a huge leg up, a huge advantage over the guy who does have that to lose. It's just a question of how far you're willing to go and what sacrifice you're willing to make. And just my position, my opinion, I could be wrong, I often am, that if it would hurt your family, if it would hurt your wife, your son, for you to be handicapped or for you to die in the pursuit of this dream, then your likelihood of persevering is much less. Versus the ultimate advantage in any contest goes to the guy who is willing to die to win, willing to die to finish with the upper hand. In the movie Any Given Sunday, there's that quote from Al Pacino's character. It's the guy who's willing to die for that inch on the football field who is going to get that inch. Because if you're willing to die for it, you're going to win. Period. You'll persevere in the face of adversity. Just some musings and thoughts from me today. Any thoughts on all of that, Zai? No? I love you.
Love